It's War Dragon time, RPW here with another video to the Beginner's Guide to War Dragon series. Now if you're new to my channel, we do a series every week where we go over things for the beginner player. Now this past month we've started a 4-part series about Flying Dragons 101. The first week of this month we did an overview of Flying Dragons. This was the very basics, no spells involved, about the different types of dragons there are and how you fly them. Now last week we went over the Warriors 101, and this week of course will be Sorcerers, and then next week we will be doing a Hunters video, which I actually have some other people helping me with. Alright, so let's go ahead and jump into today's, which is Sorcerers 101. Now what are the Sorcerers? Sorcerer dragons are those that are known for their spell sets, and they also have a targeting where they can target down the attacks by locking it down. For example, they can lock up to 3 and target those specific zones. So you could hit 3 defensive towers or a monument and 2 defensive towers, and it'll lock on there. Unlike with the hunter, where if you hit, you can still miss. So these will always make sure that they hit what you target. All right. The other thing about these is they're not big on health and oomph, but their spells do help make up for this. There are a lot of people out there that don't like the Sorcerer Dragons because they probably don't know how to fly them. I'm not saying that they're the strongest or the best in your toolbox, but let's go over how to fly them so you can better understand them. Because in the beginning, when you first start playing this, you'll actually notice that your favorite dragon will probably end up being this one, which is Canara. Now, Canara is one of those that you're going to get in the very beginning of playing this game, and she's actually going to last you quite a few levels. She's going to be one of your stronger ones thanks to that Chain Lightning and the Summon Warrior, and the fact that a lot of other players don't really have very strong red mage towers. So she is a very useful dragon, especially for a cleanup dragon. Now, beyond this, she's really not going to be much, and you're going to start finding that a lot of the dragons, like Nyx here, are not able to do the same oomph against those levels that are matching up to you. That's when you're going to start wanting to utilize a warrior or a hunter specifically. But if you look at Nyx here, he has a 4-spell setup. So his set comes with the Fireball, the Elemental Mayhem, the Invincibility Shield, and a Resist Cannon Towers, which is usually by 70%. So with that being said, if you're going to go into a battle with this dragon, you really need to keep in mind of what he has. For example, the Fireball spell and the Elemental Mayhem have red spells there. So if in the very beginning you've got a lot of mage towers and they don't have them throughout, then it's not going to be a big deal. But if every time you go into an island there is a big red mage tower you can barely take down, he's not going to do a lot for you. However, that Elemental Mayhem is a fantastic spell. When you activate this spell, any of the towers, the defensive towers that are elemental towers, like your ice turrets, your flax, your lightning towers, and storm towers, for example, and once they're engaged and ready to attack, they'll actually attack each other instead of you during the duration of the spell. And then, of course, he has the Invincibility Shield. However, if you notice, he has nothing that can heal him. So he is a good dragon for lower level, but I don't think he's one of the better ones. Now, in this particular dragon, he actually has the Spell Flux, and he also has the Rising Phoenix, which is basically rebirthing yourself. So once you're starting to die, you can utilize the spell, but if there's blue towers, you will struggle with this. He also has a Storm Resist, which isn't the most powerful tower to be worried about, so this resist isn't my favorite. And then, of course, the Umbral Spike. Now, the Umbral Spike, to me, makes me think of Uproot or Death Gaze, so he does have a powerful punch with that particular spell. Now, the Rising Phoenix does help you, come back to life. However, again, with this dragon, there's not anything there that's going to boost up his health as it's going down. So again, it's another cool dragon, but probably not my favorite. And I think that's the reason why a lot of sorcerers have really bad, I don't even know what the word I'm trying to say is, a really bad reputation. And I think it's because they're really poor health already makes it a struggle on its own. So with that being said, you'll find the sorcerers you like. You're just probably going to have to find them in the events. Now, this particular event, they actually have brought out Coatl. Now, Coatl has your Northern Light spell, which is the light, which means that whenever you utilize this spell, you're going to be able to gain back so much of your health, which is, like I said, one of the biggest, struggles with the sorcerer dragons. Being that he has this ability to rejuvenate his health a little bit makes him stronger than most sorcerers. And then the Mystic Barrage makes his attack more powerful. Now, because he's putting out 3 different, targets, it kind of dwindles it. So that one big attack that you would do with one hunter actually goes out and spreads out into 3 different attacks. So you might have to do something 3 times in order to get the same oomph that an equal level hunter dragon would do. But this Mystic Barrage is actually going to increase the amount of power that you're putting out into your attack, which is very useful in that sense. And then, of course, the White Thunderbolt spell is a fantastic spell, and then the Adaptive Resist. So this dragon is going to be way better than most of the sorcerer dragons you are accustomed to just in your breeding. Now, when it comes to my baby, which is Equester, this one has, like some of the others out there, this one has a specific spell that I think is fantastic, which is the Lightning Familiar. Now, the Lightning Familiar allows there to be another little dragon with him, a warrior dragon, which in this case is pretty well, invincible. Nothing's going to happen to him. And he's going to go out in front of you and start attacking towers in front of you. Now, what I love about that particular spell is, let's say I'm having to back up my mini account on a XP run, and I just don't have the time, so I'm trying to do dishes or whatever. I can go in with my mini and attack a low level and back it up with this thing and do what I call the auto mode attack. So his little lightning guy will just go through, and his little warrior will just blow everything out for me. It's pretty awesome. And then the next spell is the Extract Essence spell, which I truly love. It's a little bit different than the Steel Essence, but it is the same concept. So you're going to be able to have all of these different types of spell sets depending on what tower you hit. And then, of course, the White Thunderbolt, which I absolutely love. And then he also has the Lightning Resist. So that particular dragon is a great dragon because of its spell sets. Now, if you have a dragon out there that's a sorcerer dragon that doesn't have many different good spells, then he is not going to be your favorite dragon. So, and it's the same way with all of them. There's warriors out there that are junk, and then there's, hunters that are junk. So don't always discredit a dragon because it's a sorcerer. Now let's go ahead and do a few attacks. Now remember, the thing that we talked about in the very first one, which is the overview video, is with this dragon, you're going to slide your finger across and you're going to lock down 3 targets. Now Nyx has a particular spell set that we went over earlier. So right now I've actually brought up my shield, and then I'm going to use this to let them attack each other, which is the Elemental Mayhem. It makes them attack one another. I'm going to come around and hit this one with the fireball. So you can see that these are very nice spells to help your dragon out. Now the dragon itself, if you notice, when they do take hits, it does go down pretty quickly. So you really have to utilize these spells. So you really need to know, okay, what type of towers am I going up against? Are there going to be any mages or whatever? All right, coming around the corner here, we took out the red so that we could use the Elemental Mayhem. And then we'll brought up the shield there at the end. All right, so we were able to complete it with him. We're going to bring in another dragon so we can kind of go over the spell sets with that one. All right, let's go ahead and take the next one up for him because he's a little stronger. All right, so Ituru is next. Ituru is going to be, of course, a spell set of, for example, this one, which is the Umbral Spike. And this one was what I was saying. It kind of makes you think of Uproot. And then when it comes to the spell flux, you don't tap anything once you activate it. It's actually going to go out and hit the strongest tower on that island. So let's see, when I come around here, see how it hit the back left hand side, the perch. I want to come around the corner. Umbral Spike, it went down. However, it is a pretty strong little base here. So you really want to understand your base, your dragon's basic spell sets. I've not really flown him much, but I just still think I did pretty decently. All right, so let's go in to another one. I want to take Coatl in. Coatl I've flown a few times, so I think I should be able to do something in here. Now the first thing I want to activate is that boost of power. And then I notice, for example, if I'm going through that my health is starting to go down, I could almost utilize my Northern Light spell to kind of get my health back. And then of course the White Lightning Tower is great, especially if there's any kind of mage towers around, because it's not going to be able to stop you from taking it out. Like right here, there's all these mage towers that's disabled me, so that White Lightning comes in very handy. So that's just an example of how you're going to run these dragons. It's not an all-in-one rule. You really have to figure out what your particular style of flying is going to be, because everybody's going to have a different, flying style in general. But I do want to go over a few things before we jump into our next attack, which is whenever you choose your dragon, you need to choose your dragon according to the base, not the other way around. All right, so Equester. Equester is my baby. She can go through about half of free XP, so let's go in here. Now we're going to really utilize our spells in here so you guys can see what I mean. So with the lightning, it's going to give you a nice strong boost, but I'm also going to try to utilize things like my rejuvenate, like I just did, to kind of give back the health that was taken from me from those high level towers. So if I come around the corner here, I'm going to send out another jolt of lightning, and I am able to now bring up some more health with this cure poison spell. Now when we go around the corner, we're going to hit with a lightning bolt again, and I'm going to try to rejuvenate, but I know over here these big elemental towers usually take me down, and they did. So if you'll notice, I really utilized all my spells to the best of my advantage. Now again, your flying style might be different than mine or different than somebody else's, so you really have to figure out what your style is, but really learn to utilize all the spells and resists whenever you do an attack. All right, so let's go into another one. I'm thinking we'll take, I don't know which one to take. Let's take another whole other person. All right, we'll take out this 224, which is 25 million. And I'm gonna go ahead and keep him boosted up, I think, because I ended up reboosting him because he has some level 40 some towers in here. So I don't want to go down so that I can actually show you guys the different spell sets. So I'll go ahead and boost him back up. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump in this attack. Now I like to start my attack out with a lightning bolt no matter what. So I'll come through and lightning bolt everything. I generally, with this dragon, lightning bolt things like crazy because I do have a really awesome rejuvenate glyph. I'm sorry, a really awesome rage regeneration on this dragon. Not only does that dragon in front help take out towers, but he actually helps rejuvenate your rage. All right, so taking these out now. There we go. Now again, you see where I was struggling, so I used the earthquake spell to help me out a little bit there. Had my lightning ready, and I've got another lightning attack. Now, if you're ever in the situation where you've got that red lightning come up and you have a white lightning spell already, you're going to have to use that to be able to get to your white lightning. So I always make sure I use that right off the bat. All right, come around the corner, get my thunderbolt ready, and strike. And usually this is going to take a few strikes if it has some towers, or I mean some farms on here. All right, we got that. Now we're going to come around the corner. It's mostly mage towers back here, which makes it very useful when you have the white thunderbolt spell. There we go. So again, it is very simple dragon to fly if it's a sorcerer, but it's not always going to be your most powerful. So learn the spell sets that come with it, which is very useful. So if you can utilize a sorcerer dragon and learn how to utilize all the different spells and kind of pay attention, then it's going to be easier for you to get out there and start practicing with your hunter dragons. Now the sorcerers, this is the Sorcerer 101. There's not really a lot to flying these dragons. Just make sure that you swipe across And like I said in the very first video of the series, if you're having trouble locking it down, make sure your screen is clean, and then you could also make sure that you keep your finger a little flatter, and you'll get a better targeting on your targets that way. Alright, so that's it for today's video. If you have any sorcerer specific questions, don't forget to put that in the comments section below. Before you leave, don't forget to give my video a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and hit that bell for notifications. Until next time, happy hunting!